Welcome back to the channel. And there has been another purchase of recent times, and this is another rock box or box. I'll have to bleep that out because this is probably in the first minute. I am in a 2005 W203, I believe. I've been learning lots and lots. I am going to be a doctor of Mercedes soon. That's a W203 C220 CDI. So it's a 2.1 and a bit turbo diesel with 148 brake horsepower, I think.
Wow, you can read the brochure.
Wow, you can read the brochure. Anyway, it's a C220. Bought at auction for very little poundage, and it needs some work. But again, as with any of our purchases, there are intentions with it. For this one, first and foremost, and the way that I managed to man-maths it is that I need a tip run car. I had a Seat Altair a while back, and that was the best tip run car ever. I shouldn't have got rid of it, but it was out of MOT, and I didn't want to put it through an MOT. So this has got MOT until July, and I needed a tip run car. So C220 Estate, banging. Not the biggest of cars, but come at the right price, right? Second intention is Rockbox Rally this year. We got some great plans, and we're doing a little bit more mileage, I think. Well, we might do a little bit more mileage, and we're going a bit further afield to Europe. So the theme of our Rockbox Rally 2024 this year is going to be surf and turd. Not surf and turf, surf and turd. And the idea is we get diesel smoker barge estate things. If you can, if people can't bring one then fine. And we strap a surfboard to the roof and we go find some beaches in Europe somewhere and do some surfing. Welcome to my steed for the Rockbox Rally 2024. Well, this year's back in a habitat. I've driven this probably 100 yards, I'd say. Probably haven't got a second gear, so the first thing that we're going to do to it is modify it by lowering it and putting new wheels on it. Because fixing is just a waste of time. You don't fix things, you modify things. I got a boot full of wheels to go on it. They'll be a surprise. Stay tuned to see what wheels I got. There's some spacers that I need. And then we've got some more goodies. Suspension systems. And another box of wheel spacers in there. So, let's get this thing up in the air and get cracking. Okay, so we've got one side out, and this is the way they work. We've got two bolts there that go into the back of the hub. That one goes on this hub carrier here. You've got the drop links into the anti-roll bar there, and then this little contraption holds all the brake lines in place. And then we've just got one nut on the top there to make that side. So now we have to take the top mount off, which just screws off. And is only held in with this little, this little collet here. That kind of sits in there. And then you have to kind of wind this entire thing. So one of these works well, the oil filter removal. Now I got to get coilovers out and reuse the same top mount. Let's go. And there we have it. That side is fitted. Shiny! Obviously on the lower setting, because what's the point in doing anything else otherwise? Top mount all done up. That side is good to go. On to the rears now. Craig's doing 206 things. You scrapping it finally?
Scrapping it.
What are you doing there?
Rear calipers and brake line, brake cables are seized. So swapping out.
Is that the cable?
Yeah.
It's like a bullwhip.
With the donor car. The loaner.
Oh yeah, you can just about see it through there, like.
Yeah.
The loaner. Oh, you got that one off then?
Yeah.
You're struggling with that one, aren't you?
Bit of a bit of patience to come off.
I always like old cars, the paradox between nice, shiny, unnecessary parts like exhausts, and then really crusty, quite essential parts like suspension.
I've got down the garage, brand new disc and pads for back of this. I should change them.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna. I should.
Onwards. So what can I tell you about the car? It's got 160,000 miles or so on the clock. I might need to be precise. I can't figure out these. 163,017 miles on the clock. It's got MOT until July. I picked it up on a trailer because it had very, 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 very racy, slick tires on it. They had these racing little bits of metal poking out of it that are for racetracks, I believe. So I picked her up on a trailer, so it definitely needed 2 new tires. But I managed to find some wheels for it, which I'll show you in due course. I then drove it about 35 yards in total before deciding that I was going to put a set of coilovers on it. Because why not? I don't think I got it out of second gear. So I put a set of coilovers on it. Very cheap coilovers, cheapest I could find. I've driven it a little bit long, for a little bit further now. Whilst I was doing the coilovers, I noticed that it needs a lower arm. One of the 35,000 lower arms that are on the front of this thing needs replacing because the ball joint is kaput. So I need to get that. The brakes and discs are ruined on the front. They're very, very warped, and I get a lot of steering wheel wobble. The interior has been smoked in, and somebody's used this as an ashtray when there's clearly a no smoking sign there. Can people not read? Keith, talking to you, mate. Yeah, the interior just needs a good clean. It's a bit smelly in here. The carpets are a bit minging in the back. Started giving them a brush over already. So at the moment, I am on my way to Craig's to pick up some axle stands because I left them at his house. Then I'm going back over and I'm going to do the discs and pads. Hopefully Royal Mail do a sterling job and deliver my pads this morning. I can do the disc and pads, and I'm going to order some lower arms off eBay because they're cheap enough on eBay, and then I'll do those another time. But another day, so on the list of things, let's make a list. I don't know where on the screen I am, but maybe a list here. Ding! Discs and pads. Second on the list, ding, is to check all the bolts that I did the coilovers to make sure nothing's loose there. Third on the list, ding, I need to remove the spring adjusters from the rear coilovers. They're not coilovers. It's a separate spring and coilover on the rear of these, but I put the spring adjuster in on the lower setting, and it's just the same as standard ride height. So third, I need to remove those spring adjusters. Fourth, I need to give this a good, Fourth, I need to give this a good bloody clean in here. So I'm going to pick up the Vax from Craig today and give the interior a good old clean. Yeah, I think if I can get through that today and make it a nice place to be in here, it'd be all right. But yeah, so far it's driving well, pulls well, it's pretty smooth. It needs tracking, but again, I have done the coilovers. I haven't touched the steering really. Maybe it needed tracking before and I didn't notice on my 35-yard test drive. Oops. So it does need some alignment. Fifth, bing! I've got, because of the wheels I bought, I've had to buy wheel spacers, and I've just been going mental. I bought the wrong wheel spacers, right? It's my fault. And instead of just going and buying the right ones, I spent probably the equivalent on nuts and bolts to make the ones that I've got that are wrong fit. Because the ones that I've got, I think, are off maybe a CLA or something. They're the right stud pattern and centre bore, but they've got studs rather than nuts. So I needed a way of fixing them to the hub. So I had to buy like shallow-headed bolts for the wheel spacer. And then I needed a way of attaching the wheel to the studs on the spacer. So I needed radius wheel nuts, M12 by 1.5 wheel nuts that were open-ended because I didn't know how long the. Anyway, I've had a nightmare with it. So I've got 5th on the list is banging the wheel spacers on the front. The rears is done. I'm currently driving on the wheels that I've got, and the other 2 fronts are in the back in the boot. So I can put those wheel spacers on once I've done the discs and pads and put my wheels on. And then it should be sitting nice and pretty on my new wheels, on my new coilovers. And so that's 5 things. What did I say? Discs and pads, check bolts. What was the 3rd one? Clean. 4th one was clean again. 5th one was wheel spacers. I don't remember. Refer back to aforementioned note. But in terms of interior, there's lots of things that work and lots of things that don't work. I don't think that's supposed to do that, but it can sit there for now. I don't think this is supposed to look like this here. I think that's supposed to have like a little lid thing on it. I've ordered one of these, £7.50 off eBay for a new lid. So I'm looking forward to that arriving. Let me show you around. All right, here we are. My wonderful Mercedes. There's the mileage there. She's running. She needs some diesel. Yeah, what have we got? We've got a factory optional fit piece of rolled up beer mat, I think it is, to keep this vent from going, I assume, for a phone holder. I got my heated seats that work, and they work lovely. Give me a nice warm bum. I got traction control that doesn't actually turn all the way off. Despite what that says, if you lose traction on the rear, that just flashes and it cuts power, which is annoying. So I need to figure out how I turn it all the way off, because there's a reason I wanted rear wheel drive. This has got the optional nav fitted, actually, which is quite cool. Seems to work. I've got some pixelated things on the screen, and it has actually got Bluetooth. And the services Bluetooth, but I can't connect my phone to it. But it has got. Where's my AUX button? Is it under here? Where's my AUX? Audio. Ah, there it is. AUX. And then in the glove box in there, that's my little AUX thing. So I've got like a little Bluetooth adapter for my AUX. Here's the grubby armrest that doesn't work. It has got a wire in here for a phone, and I know you can get like a little Bluetooth thing in there, so I'll have a look into that. But if it's too much money, I'm not going to bother. And then I can't lift this thing up. This thing does lift up. I get my finger out. There we go. And there's some wiring and a bulb. And there. So that works, at least. Seats are alright. I've started cleaning the back. You'll see videos of that. Oh, there's my wheels in the boot. Yeah, the back's actually not too bad. The leather will clean up nice. I have got a windscreen smashed, but I think that might be okay for the MOT because it's outside of the driver's sweep. If not, I might have to sort that out. Driver switches down here. This is a little bit wobbly. It does work. They do work, but it's not. It's a little bit loose, so I might want to get that. Auto lights and wipers for the win, and a dimming mirror. Hello. The mirrors have got buttons to fold them in, but when I press them, all sorts of chaos and disaster occurs. So we won't press those. I hate the color of the interior, but we play the cards we're dealt, and I hate the steering wheel. I'd love to put like a nice retro steering wheel on it, but I need to find a way of whether or not I can maybe like relocate the buttons and just stick them to the dash somewhere. So we'll have a look at that. There's Craig's 206 GTI that he currently wants to set fire to. But there we are, lads. That's my my recent purchase. So let's get some work whilst the 10 days of forecast rain is currently holding off for today.
as I've been doing this caliber, I've noticed that maybe even the original wheels didn't fit with coilovers. All up for day, they. That's one side done. I won't bore you with the other side. It's rinse and repeat. But I do need to get a wheel on this side. See, this is the thing with trying to bodge things to work, right? I bought these spacers. I don't think they're the right ones. If you can't hear me because it's windy, I'll do a voiceover, but they're the wrong ones because they're studs and not nuts. But I thought they'd fit, but they don't. They do not get over that centre ball. Fuck. So, old wheel's going to have to go back on. I can't drive it because I figured it is rubbing. I'm going to have to order some spacers. You'd think, wouldn't you? 5x112, 20 metre, 20 millimetre, 66.56. That's the exact spec of this car. Doesn't fucking fit. So the reason that this needs new arms, so this, everything's tight. What do you think of that then, lads? Shit, I was driving this yesterday. Holy smokes. Let's see if we can figure out what it is.
Voiceover because the weather was just howling, but as you can see, the bottom ball joint on this front wheel is absolutely ruined, and I've been driving on this, so couldn't quite get over how bad it was, but luckily got some on order, so we'll be replacing those when I get a chance. Onto the back, looking to get the black spring cap out here. Just give me about 20 mil extra nose on the back, which is always a good result. Simple to do. 2 bolts, one on the bottom of the shock and one on the bottom of the hub. Undo those, swing the arm down, and take that cap out and put the spring back. There's no other spring cap that's needed. Easy work.
Taken out those 2 cap adjusters. They're on their bottom setting, like, but I've probably gained 20 mil. Once it settles, looking good.
Right, well, Welsh weather stops play for now. Typical. Trying to dodge the rainstorms in between was hard enough, but yeah, what have we got done? What have we got? Let's go back to our list. What was our list? Number one was, what was number one? Discs and pads. Done. Check. Second on list, check the bolts on the coilovers. Yeah, they're all fine. They're all nice and tight. I can't remember what the third one was. We'll have to go back because it's a day after now. Take the spring caps out the back. Check. Done. And it's sitting much nicer now on the wheels, which I'm really pleased with. Oh, the one was, I can't remember which one it was of the list, but it was to fit the spacers in the front wheels. Fail. I've got the wrong spacers. And that's what happens when you rush around trying to get parts. So I need to order some proper spacers. The reason that the spacers don't fit is because I don't know if it's specific to this particular car, but these hubs have got a particular, a peculiarly long nose on them. Like the center ball of the hub is quite elongated. So where normal spacers have a little chamfer to then sort of elongate the center ball so your wheel can go back on your spacer as planned. Can't do it on these. So you have to buy specific sort of long nose wheel spacers to maintain the centre ball. So I found company Wheel Parts Direct, which I got the rear spacers from, incidentally, but I didn't need the long nose ones for the back. It's just the front. I've ordered some control arms for the front because, as we've seen, it's not particularly held on by much. I am on the hunt for one of these as well, but they tend to be quite expensive on eBay. It's like 50 quid. So I think I'll just put up with it for now. And keep an eye on it. Oh, I didn't get a chance to do this either. Sadness. And I haven't had a chance to clean it either because the weather is grim. So everything's just a little bit. You know when you get that new car and it's just all a little bit. It's all a bit sticky, and you're thinking, what am I sticking to here? Thanks for tuning in. Nice to see some more episodes back on some cars. I hope you would agree. It's nice to see some episodes back on cars and doing stuff to cars. Weather's just breaking, clock's gone forward, so we've got some lighter evenings. So, and I'm, as I said, I'm without a garage and without a dedicated driveway. So all the work I'm doing is on the road out front of the house. So which means the car needs to be taxed, insured, MOT'd until I get my driveway sorted, which hopefully will be done soon. Thanks for tuning in, and keep an eye out on the channels for the next episode, which will be on this. And we're going to try and put some more content out on a regular basis, but it does just depend on when we can get around to working on the cars, with the weather, and just life. Not having a dedicated space to kind of store and work on cars is makes me want to cry. Stay tuned, and we shall see you soon. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, all that jazz. This guy's walked past 3 times now. Where's he going in his very colourful tracksuit? Drop us a like, comment. Do you like the car? Any recommendations? Anything you think I should do looks wise? I want to put a spoiler on the back. You know, like the Volvo V70 T5R or the Cross Country have quite like a flat tabletop spoiler on them. I think one would look quite cool on this. Just a little extension on the back. I think that looks quite cool. So I keep an eye out for one of those. I don't know if they exist. Whether or not another model, if maybe the Volvo one will fit. I'm not sure. Yeah, any recommendations? Chuck a comment. Give us a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It means the world to us to know that people are interested in what we're doing. Go and take a look at the French road trip Chateauneuf de Crap video that we put out a couple of weeks ago. Mick edited that, did a great job. Absolutely brilliant video. Go and have a look at that. There's a link. I'll put a link some way, or it'll be maybe in a little square by here somewhere. By here, square. Thanks, guys. Speak soon.